Hey, UIM Colossi here. Just wanted to make a guide on Tempoross. It's kind of based off of another guide that I watched. I'll link it down in the description. His was more for high levels. This one's obviously going to be targeted at low levels or lower levels. Currently, I'm 64 fishing, but you can be lower. You do not need the full Anger's outfit. You do not need any kind of equipable hammer or dragon harpoon, any kind of best in slot. All you need are the bare minimum. You need a hammer, a harpoon, a rope, and at least 4 buckets. I have more in my inventory just because it works better for me to give me a little visual cue as to where I need to fill my inventory with fish up, and you'll see that very soon. I have screen markers that help me make this process a little more AFK. You can use these with RuneLite. You just have the screen marker plugin installed right here, and you can edit them here, this little symbol, and put your own custom markers in your inventory in the way that it works for you. The way that I personally do it, this green one here is for when I initially get into the game. That's how many fish I like to catch before I start cooking. And this red marker right here, red for fire, that's where I need to have my first inventory cooked up to. The rest can be raw. And then the blue one is just for the rest of the game. That's where I need my fish to be for the rest of the game. And with that, we will get into the actual meat and potatoes. You just get up onto this boat right here. You want to make sure you have everything that you need in your inventory before starting. Because of the time at the beginning of the match or of the encounter is pretty crucial. It's pretty important to get to the first fishing spot as fast as you can. So make sure you fill your buckets up here if you need to. We'll be off in 10 seconds. And once we depart, I'm just going to be spam clicking the north of my compass, because you always spawn on the same side of the island in a solo. Alright, once we get to our first and closest fishing spot, we want to fish up to our green box here, which is 10. And also what I forgot to mention was that you want to be on a world that's completely free of other people, because if somebody else is on this world and you can crash their game, or other people can crash you. So here we go, coming up on 10, good. Once you get 10, you go and start cooking until your first double fishing spot has spawned. Okay, there's our first spot. Click on it immediately. And what we're looking for is to fill our inventory up all the way off this spot. Normally, if you don't get your inventory full at this point, it's best to forfeit, because then you're just behind and it just makes for a really stressful and possibly a worse encounter altogether. So instead of wasting 10 minutes, you're just wasting 1. And right here, this will be the first and only wave you'll have to deal with if you do everything correctly. Alright, tethered, good. After that, you're just going to be cooking your fish up until the red mark, or up until you have 14 fish cooked. Okay, that's 14. You want to head up onto the ship as fast as possible and start filling your little ammunition crate. At around this point, you will have storm clouds. This is going to be good for later. This will be the last special attack from Tempoross you'll have to deal with if you do everything right. Continue filling the ammunition crate until your inventory is completely empty of fish. Once it's empty, douse all of the fires on your side of the island. And then begin fishing again. As you can see, Tempoross's energy is at 3%. Anything below 10% is what you're after, because at that point he won't be able to spawn or attack you with any of his special attacks. So you won't get any waves, you won't get any more fires. He won't even be able to throw the stuns at the ships. So right now, just take advantage of all of your double fishing spots. Usually when I don't have a double fishing spot up, I'm cooking what I have in my inventory, because usually it's more efficient to cook what you have than fish on the single spots. Obviously, if you only have like 1 or 2 left, go ahead and just finish off your inventory, but yeah. So we're just cooking, waiting for our next double spot. And during this time, the only thing you really have to worry about, it's pretty AFK, but the only thing you need to worry about is your storm intensity meter. Because if that reaches 100%, then it wipes the entire match. So you need to have this inventory filled up to your blue marker before your storm intensity reaches 100%. And that's filled up and cooked. You need all of these filled up and all of them cooked before your storm intensity reaches... well, I like to get there before 92%. So like if you see your meter is at 90, 92%, that's a good indication that you need to start running up to the boat. Okay, so we have our inventory full. It's cooked full of fish. And then we use the ammunition crate. 2 of them are going to completely deplete his energy, but you want to continue to fire all of your fish until your inventory is empty of fish. As you can see, he is vulnerable, but you want to empty your inventory first. And here we go, empty inventory. This will be our first attacking phase. And you just click once, attack him until his energy bar is at 100%. Normally you can get him down to around 60% health left, or essence left. And after this, it becomes significantly more chill. You don't really have to worry about timing as much because you've done everything correctly in the first phase. As you can see, the fish that we preloaded are getting fired at the boss, depleting his energy. And if you do everything right, his energy will be at 4%. Again, that's below 10%, so he's not going to be firing any special attacks. And right now, I'm just kind of getting more fish in my inventory. There's no double spots right now, so I'm going to go up and cook what I have until we see a double spot. Still none. Oh, there we go. Take advantage of these double spots anytime they come up, as soon as they come up. But right here you can see storm intensity is only 24%, and we already have our inventory halfway full of what we needed. So it's pretty AFK at this point. You can watch some YouTube on the side. Just don't get too distracted. Alright, there we go. We got a full inventory off of that. So all we're doing is cooking. You want your entire inventory cooked. Storm intensity is still looking good. Almost done here. And there we go. That's our inventory full of cooked fish that we're going to use on your ammunition crate again. And once again, you're going to want to fire all of your fish before going down and damaging him. So this will be your last DPS phase where you are focusing on fishing. And I'll show you why that is. So as soon as you come down here, you're going to want to fill your entire inventory with buckets, okay? All buckets, and then start damaging the boss. The reason you're going to want buckets is because after you're done with this damage phase, you're going to want to fill all of your buckets up, and you're going to start firefighting the other side of the island. And I'll show you how that works once this is done. His energy is almost filled all the way up. And now we fill our buckets up. As you can see, we got him down to 28% health. That's pretty normal. Anywhere between 20 and 30% is fine. Once your inventory is completely full of buckets of water, you just want to run around to the other side of the island and start fighting fires. You're going to be making a path basically to the other water spigot, and I'll show you the most efficient way to do that. Ideally, you would like to use all of your water buckets before getting there, so if you can kind of do the math in your head, look ahead and see how many buckets it's going to take to get to the spigot. Also, you're going to want to drop 2 buckets by the time you get to this fishing spot right here. That's kind of unlucky for me. Usually there's a fishing spot up here at all times, but I'll just keep fighting fires until it comes back, because you do want to gather 2 fish in order to deplete his energy for your last damage phase. So at this point, I'm just going to use the rest of my buckets because I have a clear path to the spigot, and then we'll go fill up our water again. Remember, keep those 2 inventory spaces free. Ideally, you would have fish at this point. I guess I can go right here. No, it moved. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. Alright, so make sure you have 2 fish. And start fighting fires again. I like to go this way first. Just seems to be the most efficient because I can cook my fish. And we'll continue fighting fires. Again, do the math. I know I need 4 buckets to clear those fires, so I'll just clear fires this way until I have 4 buckets left. And of course, I'm monitoring my storm intensity to make sure that we're not anywhere close to 100%. And we're just going to do this. Keep on doing this till we have 4 left. There we go. 4 buckets left, 4 fires left over here. Alright. And that's all the firefighting you're going to do on the main island. You're going to fill your buckets again. You don't need to fill them all the way up, just enough to clear the boat. So that should do right there. That's about half my inventory of buckets full of water. And just put all the fires out on the boat. We're at 88% storm intensity. We're trying to get that as close as we can just to maximize points. And that's all the fires out. Once they're out, fire your 2 fish that you collected earlier. And that'll drop his energy barrier. And head back down to the docks. Right now I'm just dropping buckets, getting ready for the next round. And yeah, that's it. 1 click. You have more than enough time to get 20 to 30% of his health away. And as you can see right there, we're already over 8,000 points. Really efficient method to solo this boss on a starter account. There we go. We got 10 points, so there's your combat task right there. And that's it. Just wanted to make that simple guide in case any of you were struggling with it, and just to show that it could be done on an account that doesn't have lunar magics to cast your hydrate spell. Alright. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like if it helped you. Take care.